Hello there everyone! So today I'll be going through some GTS tips that I've been using on and off for the past 8 years or so to finish off every national dex and complete the Alolan Pokedex this generation. I have only done trades via the GTS2 to finish my Pokedexes, so it is possible to do it without needing a friend, a second DS, or even the other version game for this generation. And when I say any Pokemon, I mean ones to finish filling out your Pokedex, so no event Pokemon since most you can't even search for on the GTS anyway. GTS trading does sometimes come down to a bit of luck, but you can do a few things to improve your chances of finding good trades. So my first and probably most important tip for using the GTS is to almost always have the do not include special Pokemon option selected. This is found in the options button on the bottom right of the GTS, and it is just unreal how useful it is. People always complain that the only offers they can find on the GTS are asking for legendaries, unobtainable Pokemon, etc., but selecting this button will take almost all of these away. So no more Poplio for type null offers that you have to look through. My second tip is that you should always have a deposited Pokemon in the GTS. Some people are desperate for version-exclusive Pokemon, so sometimes even pretty bad offers from your end will be taken by another player, but you should still be reasonable about it because otherwise you're just turning into the players that you hate, asking for like level 90 Incineroars in exchange for Wingulls, you know. But I have had people trade me shinies in very rare cases just for random starters before, so just have one up there at all times, because why not? And my third tip, you should be using the What Pokemon button to search for any Pokemon you want, even if you haven't seen it before in-game. So this What Pokemon button, found at the bottom of all of the letters, allows you to search for the name of any Pokemon in existence and see if there are any trade offers for it. So if you're trying to finish your Pokedex but have never seen a Litten in-game before, which is what happened to me, then you can search for Litten's name right here and trade offers will appear for it. This is even more useful for other starters such as Totodile, Cyndaquils, Tepigs, etc., since you can catch them in the game, but there's pretty much no way to see them. My fourth tip is that you should reset your search pretty often for the Pokemon you want, as the most recent trades come up on the left. And these ones are usually much better than the old offers. So this is probably one of the best tips that I can give you, honestly. The most recent trade offers to be put out to the world will be the furthest to the left, so the ones that you open up to. And the oldest trades, or the ones that people don't really want to trade for, will be the ones furthest to the right. You'll find the best trades with the most recent offers, since sometimes people will put up a trade and it will go pretty much like that, just instantly. And this is even more so the case with popular Pokemon such as starters, legendaries, version exclusives, and trade-only Pokemon. So the best thing I can suggest is to keep coming back every few minutes or so for these Pokemon, and sooner or later you will find a Haunter for Haunter trade, a Poplio for Rowlet trade, or sometimes get super lucky and find a shiny that someone is practically giving away. I got traded a shiny Goodra at level 100 in exchange for a female Rowlet yesterday, so I'm telling you, it works. Not to say that the Goodra was actually caught by the guy instead of being artificially created, but it's still a legitimate Pokemon and pretty valuable this generation. I've also gotten 6 shiny Groudons in ORAS by doing this, so you just have to be patient. Even do it when you're bored and you might find a pretty good trade offer basically for free. And my fifth tip is that you should breed a lot of Pokemon in preparation for trading. So starters, version exclusive Pokemon, and dragon type babies are extremely sought after. Every gen I normally make an entire box worth of my starter Pokemon's first evolution, so Rowlets in my case, and then traded for the other starters and breed eggs of those starters as well. Breeding a lot of Turtonators, Bagons, Gibbles, Persimmons, etc. will mean that you can then trade these off without having to worry about catching more, And since most of these are either rare or version exclusives, you will see a ton of trades asking for them. Remember that you can deposit them too to ask for stuff, but those Pokemon generally you can trade for about 90% of things in the Pokedex. My sixth final tip is that even though you can find good trades every so often, most of the time you do have to be willing to compromise and trade some good Pokemon, or at least of equal value to what you want. So by this, what I mean is that if you're looking for a Dragonite, you have to be willing to trade one of your equal dragons such as a Garchomp, Flygon, or a Salamence. My usual thoughts are just don't get lazy about it, I guess you could say. If you want a Machamp, you should be willing to go out there, catch a Machoke, and then trade for another, as that is just a purely equal trade. If you want a Gibble, then go out and catch a Bagon, or breed your Salamence for some to trade away. And as an ending note, I will say that Pokemon that evolve via trading while holding items, such as Politoeds, Slowkings, etc., and those that evolve via friendship, to get Lucario, Snorlaxes, are usually extremely hard to find good trades for. However, if you manage to find the trade for one of them, then normally you can trade that for all of the others. So for example, on the GTS at the moment, almost every trade for Slowkings are in exchange for Politoeds and Kingdras. But if you keep resetting and looking for a few days, you might find a good trade for, say, the Politoed, and then trade it for the Slowking, and then trade the Slowking for a Kingdra, then the Kingdra for a Milotic, etc. You probably get the idea by now, but it's not quick, and it's not guaranteed every time that you go to trade. But I've completed the Pokedex alone with one DS, so you can do it as well. Obviously, the GTS isn't the only way that you can trade Pokemon. You can also set up trades with friends, so say you go onto a forum specifically designed for it, and then ask for specific trades, then people can trade and trade back with you. But you do have to go out and search for that, but you can just do everything via the GTS. It does just take a little bit of time. Really, you just need a little bit of luck and a little bit of patience to finish this off, so I do wish you the very best of luck on the GTS. Leave a comment if you do have any other questions, don't know how to breed, etc., and I will get back to you when I can. But thank you very much for watching, good luck, and until next time, I will see you then.